All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Burial Beer Company, and they're headquartered in Asheville, North Carolina, and this is their Postmodern Depictions of Natural Phenomena. So this is a double IPA that comes in at 8.5% alcohol by volume, 32 IBUs, and at the time of review, this can is approximately 1 month old. And I'm gonna give a huge thanks shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Curtis, for this beer. So big thanks to him. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that Curtis sent my way, and he sent me 10 beers in total, 9 of which were from Burial. And this is the final hop forward beer that he sent. It is the freshest. When he sent it to me, it was about 2.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks old, but I got to everything else that was hop forward and a bit older first, so we should be fine. It's a month old. We should be good. Now, they do have a spiel here on the label like they do for most of their beers. It says, "These tiny vessels of life and death, upon us, within us, and around us, the unknown bastion of great calamity and ecstasy. Double dry hop with Mosaic and Mosaic Cryo and hefty doses of hand-selected Strata, Idaho Gem, and Motueka." Now, they also see, and you'll see it on the label here, it says Heavy Resin, like right here you should see it, just over and over. I didn't know what that meant, so I asked Curtis if he knew, and sure enough, he sent me a Facebook post from them back in 2022. It says, you know what? I think I've come to realize that I hate Instagram. So I had it up here and it just popped off as I brought it back up. So if you can just bear with me for a second until I find it, I would appreciate it. But yeah, it's right here. So it says, this is from September 26th of 2022. It says, Heavy Resin, our triple saturation hop process that utilizes cryo, regular pellets, and hop extraction. This series focuses on the danker, more potent varieties of hops that melt upon the palate. So that's pretty much what it is like a combination of the different types of hops, and seems like they're using a bunch of different ones here. So I'm gonna crack this one open, get in the glass, and we're gonna see how this one is. I've enjoyed all of the hop forward beers so far from Burial, and I'm hoping that this is a good one. Like I said, the freshest of the bunch. It's the Heavy Resin series or whatever you want to call it. Carbonation is kind of wild in this one, though. Almost had to save it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down while it settles and show you guys the label art, because the label art of Burial beers are usually fan-fucking-tastic. It really is. They really are pretty sick. So, how did I pour out? A little aggressively, but at the same time, very carbonated. So it has that milky kind of, OJ look that I think a lot of people look for with a style like this. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty nice. Has that beautiful, like, darker orange color, 3 fingers of a off-white, soap sudsy looking head that's kind of not going anywhere, which is disappointing. Turbid, murky, the turbidity through the roof that doth the road sometimes comes out and it doesn't even mean to. But anyway, that smells awesome. It is definitely dank, and I'm getting like a dank pineapple, dank red berry, dank sweeter tropical fruits. Passion fruit. Wow, that smells so intense. Yeah, the hop saturation definitely through the roof on this one. So it's dank, has a little bit of that herbaceous quality I get a lot of times, but passion fruit, pineapple, red berries, maybe even a touch of like a guava or a lychee. Underlying OJ vibes, tangerine, sweeter orange. What is that? Now the herbaceousness coming in the form of like a basil or a thyme. Ooh, that's interesting. And now I'm getting straight up marijuana. Very dank. This reminds me of the old school Summit hop days where you would just get, a lot of times like garlic and onion. It's not quite like that, but it's turning into straight on marijuana, basil, thyme, huge dank quality, or herbaceous on top of it with sweet tropical and like citrus fruits. Smells absolutely fucking fantastic. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again, Curtis. Two thumbs up. I said their beers remind me of monkish. And I'm sticking by that, like the hazy beers. They just do a great job of integrating all the hazy / New England qualities you want out of an IPA, double IPA in this case, but still The firm dryness is still here, and there's a mild to moderate bitterness, more approaching moderate. The one thing that I have really wanted out of my hazies the last 2, 3, 4 years is more dryness, more bitterness. Because I love all the I love the gobs of saturated hop character that in the form of fruity qualities. Your citrus, your stone, your tropical fruits, but sometimes they're too sweet. Even like one of my favorite breweries, Other Half, some of them lean too sweet. I want the best of both worlds. I want the best from a New England married with a West Coast IPA or like an old East Coast IPA. That's kind of where the new school West Coast IPAs land. They're not thick and turbid and all creamy and everything. They have the soul of a West Coast, but then they have that like candied fruit vibe, that sweeter fruit vibe, in addition to still having a firm dryness and a firm bitterness. This is kind of like a West Coast IPA, or a modern West Coast IPA that just looks like a hazy. Not matters all that much for a review, but look at the glass lacing's phenomenal after a couple sips. All right, body. Probably the one knock on this one, I feel it's a little bit lower than 8.5. It's like medium. Like to see a little bit bigger, like higher side of medium. So that's one knock on it. Mouthfeel's awesome. It's mild to moderately carbonated, but still has a smoothness on the finish, and it has a nice creaminess to it. So beautiful mouthfeel. Body's a bit lacking. The taste, though, everything I said in the nose really carries over. This is front to back, and it doesn't really come in stage for me. It just like saturates the palate instantly of, to me, more of like a pineapple. It's like an over-ripened pineapple, passion fruit, even almost has like a tartness you'd get with the passion fruit. So pineapple, passion fruit, a little bit of guava and lychee, underlying OJ vibes or like tangerine juice with maybe a little bit of a ruby red grapefruit juice, I'd say. I think more towards the finish is where that berry hits, and then the dankness and herbaceousness, the basil and thyme from the herbal component of this one mixed with like that marijuana kind of essence from the dankness turns into dank red berries for me specifically. The Motueka, I don't really get like, I was hoping to get like a lemon lime in here or something. And maybe a little bit of lemon lime now I'm thinking about like a Sprite or a 7-Up kind of like lemon lime. On the finish though, this finish is firmly dry with, again, a mild to moderate bitterness, more approaching moderate. Very well balanced because it is a lot of sweet, fruity goodness at the forefront. But man, because it's firmly dry and because it's almost a moderate bitterness, and plus that dank herbaceousness kind of breaks up the monotony of all the sweetness, it really balances this one out. 8.5%, maybe a smidge of a warming in my chest, nothing on the palate. I like to talk about hop burn, and Curtis is one of those guys where he's like, I almost never notice hop burn, and there's some of you who love hop burn. This has no hop burn, like no even like hint of a hop burn from maybe when it was fresh about 3 weeks ago or whatever, super fresh. I don't think this would have hop burn at all. I don't know what the heavy resin is exactly doing for this one. Like again, I haven't had any other beers that say that on the label from them. But this is a super drinkable, dare I say scary drinkable, 8.5%. Hazy Double IPA that is balanced enough for me to want to drink all of it, complex enough for keep me interested, and outside of that body being a little bit, in my opinion, thin and not, appropriate for an 8.5% double. I'm pretty happy with this. This is nice. Is it the best double IPA I've had? No. Is it fucking fantastic? Yes, it is. So Postmodern Depictions of Natural Phenomena. I can't really go lower than what I'm about to give this, and what I'm about to give this is a straight 4.5 out of 5 because this is a great hazy, plain and simple. It is an absolutely great hazy that has, the label art is fantastic as always, and just a fantastic fucking beer as a whole. So 4.5 out of 5. Thank you very much, Curtis. This was probably the best hop forward beers of the ones he sent me. Definitely the one that has, I think, the most intensity of flavor. It was also the freshest, so keep that in mind. Price point availability, I checked their website, $21 a 4-pack, so you're talking $5.25 a can. That's fine. It's 8.5%, all those hops. Kind of the going rate. It's not super cheap or anything, but it's not super egregious. And then the availability, it's burial. Have no idea other than they do ship to some states, including here in New York State. So if you're ever want to check out some of their stuff, go to their website, see if they ship to your state. If not, wherever Burial gets distribution, you may or may not have seen this one. Probably got limited distribution to wherever. I don't think Burial gets a ton of distro. I think they're on like Tavor and some different websites and whatnot. But as far as like their actual distro footprint? I don't really know. So if anybody does, let me know. Once again, huge thanks to Curtis for this one, and anybody who has had this or anything in their Heavy Resin, I guess, series. I guess it's technically a series, although they don't like proudly display that. Just says Heavy Resin 4 times on the side of the can. Let me know if there's any other beers that you've had that were really good that if they re-release, I'd have to check out. I might place an order with them maybe later this year, maybe next year, because Curtis sent so many beers from Burial. I like to, try to feature other breweries over the course of, a couple months span, but more often than not, like the year. So I'm going to review 9 Burial beers, and that's like a lot for one brewery. So we'll see if I get anything else from them down the line this year. But if not, I'll try to get something from them next year. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with this beer. It's fantastic. And I can't thank Curtis enough for it. So I'm going to shut this one down. Thanks to everybody. To the next one. Cheers. I said 8.5%, right? Little warming chest, nothing on palate. Another one that I'm probably going to tear this up in about 10, 15 minutes. Like, it's so easy to drink. Like, I just want to take it all down. Also, I really didn't get any malt character in here, which, isn't surprising for 8.5% with, all these hop characters coming to the forefront. But I thought maybe I would get maybe a little bit of something like a white bread. Nope, nothing. Cheers.